Thank you, Michaela, for that terrific introduction. I have my phone here, and I realized that I need to PayPal Michaela $393 in royalties. So, bear with me here. All right, so thanks to all of you for being here. I don't want to talk about a whole new mind today. I want to talk about something else. But before I do that, I need to come clean here at the outset. One of the things that Michaela, in a very generous introduction, she left out one part of my past, which I want to reveal to you. Some of you know this, and I see a few friendly faces out there. In a former life, before I chose the very, very noble calling of writing business books, I worked in the equally noble calling of writing speeches for politicians. And because of that experience earlier in my career as a speechwriter, I've developed a very rigid philosophy about effective presentations. Because I have discovered over the years that good speeches in general, and good speeches on Friday afternoons, shortly before 6 p.m. in particular, always have three key ingredients. There are three key elements in any good speech, anywhere, anytime. They are brevity, levity, and repetition. Let me say that one more time. Brevity, levity, and repetition. So I'll try to be reasonably brief. I'll try not to be too severe and serious about it all. And I will repeat the important stuff over and over and over and over and over and over and over again. Now, what I want to talk to you about this afternoon is I want to talk about motivation, which is actually an appropriate topic if you're the only thing standing between 400 people and cocktail hour. Motivation is something that we think about every day. It's something we wrestle with every day. And it's something that I've been wrestling with for the past couple of years and doing some research into the real science of human motivation. And so during our short time together here today, what I want to try to do is tell you about some of the surprising findings that I've uncovered, give you a few real-life examples, and try to suggest to you that the way we've thought about motivation isn't quite right. The way we've thought about it in our careers, the way we've thought about it in our businesses, the way we've thought about it in our lives, we haven't gotten it right. And if we think about it differently, I really think we can come out of the other side, on the other side of this recession with more engaging workplaces, doing more enriching work. And I want to begin by telling you about a couple of really cool experiments. Some really cool experiments. The first involves something called the candle problem. The candle problem. The candle problem. This is the candle problem. And here's how it works. The famous experiment in the field of psychology. So suppose I'm the experimenter. I bring you in. I say to you, you have on this table here a candle. You have some thumbtacks. You have some matches. And what you have to do is you have to attach that candle to the wall in a way so that the wax doesn't drip onto the table. Okay? That's the candle problem. Now, I give you the candle problem. What are you going to do? How are you going to solve the candle problem? Anybody? Let's go. How would you solve the candle problem? I'm going to cold call people. You know, it's late. I want to keep you awake. How would you solve it, sir? Tell me your name. Patrick says I would have to experiment with it for a few times to figure it out, which is basically a very, very crafty dodge. All right. Tell me your first mode of experimentation, Patrick. Now, to be fair to Patrick, they don't give you this problem like, you know, give you 15 seconds to figure it out in front of 400 people. Okay? It's, you know, you get plenty of time to figure this out. Tell me what the first thing you would do, Patrick. Interesting idea. He would heat the thumbtacks and place them along the length of a candle. Won't work. Anybody else have an idea? Not you. Anybody else have an idea? Okay, let's go to next to Patrick. Any ideas? Melt the side of the candle and try to stick it to the wall. Another awesome idea. It doesn't work. Now, I bet you know the answer. I bet you have a solution. Who was ever raising their hand over there? Talk to me. What's your solution? Okay, that's close enough. Let's go. Here's the solution right there. All right? You take out the tacks. You use the tacks to attach the box to the wall, and you stick the candle in it, okay? This is a classic problem, and the truth is, when they do this experiment, most people end up figuring it out. The problem is what's called functional fixedness. Functional fixedness. You look at something, and you only see one use, until you stall out and you basically figure out another use. So you look at that, you look at this here, and you say, you don't even notice the box. You say a box is simply this invisible thing to hold tacks. Then you say, oh my God, a box can also be used to mount the candle and use it as a platform for this to solve this problem, right? Okay, you've overcome the functional fixedness problem. Congratulations. Now, here's the experiment, which was conducted by Princeton University's Sam Glucksberg. Sam Glucksberg, who I think that was the name of my grandparents' tailor also. Here's how it worked. The researchers divided people into two groups, okay? They divided people into two groups and gave them the candle problem, all right? They gave them the candle problem. The first group, they said, we're going to time you. They're going to see how quickly people solve this problem. So the first group, they gave them the candle problem. They said, we're going to time you, and we're going to use the times to establish norms about how long it typically takes somebody to solve this kind of problem. Okay? Then they went to a second group, and they said, we're going to time you. But in order to sort of get you to do this quickly and really post good times, we're going to incentivize you. If you're in the top 25% of the fastest times, you get 35 bucks. If you're the fastest of all the people we're testing here today, you get 165 bucks. Okay? So you got these two groups. Now, here's my question for you. What was the difference in the two groups' times? How much? Talk to me. Just shout out an answer. None. They were exactly the same. How many people think that's it? Interesting. How many people think that the group that was incentivized was a lot faster? How many people think they were a little faster? How many people think the group that was just doing it for norms was faster? You folks are right. Now the 10% of you who said that were absolutely right. That those who were motivated, forgive the air quotes, motivated by that outside reward, took 3.5 minutes longer on average to solve that problem. Now, this makes no sense, right? This seems, in its own way, un-American, doesn't it? We know that if you want people to perform better or do more, you offer them a reward. Bonuses, pay for performance, and that sort of stuff. Give people incentives. That's how business works. But here you have an incentive, a clear, obvious incentive that's designed to sharpen thinking and accelerate creativity. And what does it do? Well, it seems to do the opposite. It dulls creativity, slows down thinking. Now this is really weird, and if you're from Ohio, as I am, you look at that result and you say, what the Sam Hill is going on? That's what you say if you're from Ohio. What the Sam Hill is going on? This makes no sense. Okay? I want you to think about that, because we're going to come back to it. So let's go to the second. Think about why that might be. We're going to go to the second experiment. This is a different kind of experiment. This is a thought experiment. A thought experiment. And to do it right, I need your help and your imagination. Okay? So what I want you to do is I want you to put yourself back in time 15 years.